Hello there, running-ears. It's Manny again, and as promised, I have the video for the 2025 digital event guide for the springtime surprise, which is coming up in a few weeks. We'll be leaving in a few weeks, so at least I am. I hope to see you guys there, but we're going to go over it. The whole idea and the whole goal about this video is that you learn a few things, but at least you also know where to look in case you have a question that pops up. Somebody asks you something about spectators, you're going to know where to go and look at it. Something about road closures, because you're going to have to be leaving early, you're going to know where to go. So this is the reason that we do this video. But before we do, we got two things to do. Number one, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Keep asking your questions. I love it. I love it. I love interacting with you. I have something to say at the very end of the video, so we'll go over that at the very end of the video. But if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Please, hit the notification bells, because we're going to have a lot of information going up. I got some plans for the summer. And of course, share this information. I appreciate you guys who are doing it. Thank you very much. The channel continues to grow, but remember, it is your channel. So let's get right to it. So I mentioned we were going to do two things before we went over the digital event guide. Well, the second thing was some of the merchandise, the preview came out. So we are going to take a look at that right now. So we're going to start off with this one, the Spirit jersey and the ears right in front of the Spaceship Earth. Looks awesome. Then we got this little jacket. I'm not sure how cold it's going to be, but it's actually pretty cool. Then we have a whole bunch of sleeveless shirts. Of course, my favorite is Hercules. So we got a corksicle. Guys, keep me away from the corksicles. I got way too many. I do like this shirt. This is basically the weekend shirt. So I'm pretty sure they'll have variations. Here's another one of the sleeveless shirts, or the 5K. I am Groot. The Incredibles, Mrs. Incredible gets her own, the 10-miler, and it also sleeveless shirt. And of course, you got Baymax with a sleeveless shirt also. Now you got the back of this jacket, which actually looks pretty cool. This looks like a weekend jacket in front of Spaceship Earth. And now they have these backpacks, and so this backpack is pretty cool. So what are your guys' thoughts? I think that it's just basic right now. There's going to be a lot more stuff. I'm really looking forward to the Hercules merchandise, maybe even the Baymax stuff. And so but right now, to me it's very basic. A lot of the sleeveless shirts, it seems like they're promoting it, springtime surprise, so that's why. So now I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What do you like? What don't you like? And also, is there anything that you would like to see? So for example, I want to see a couple of I would love to see some Hercules shirts, but again, even something more entailed than that. But please comment down below. So now we're going to go over the digital event guide. So once we go over it, I'll kind of recap it at the very end, but let's go ahead and get started. Well, hello, we're going to go over the digital event guide for the springtime surprise run. And we're going to start off at the runDisney.com page. So if you look at this, this is what you should be looking at. And this is just simple, runDisney.com. You're going to go to events. And the second one down, Walt Disney World Resort, is going to be the springtime surprise weekend. So when you look at this, again, the top stays the same, but now we got the springtime surprise. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit so we can see that at the top, it's underlined weekend overview. Then next to that is events, runner info, expo, spectator info, and race policies. So you can click on each one of them, and they're pretty self-explanatory. So you see the races are sold out. Every single one is sold out except for the yoga. So if you want to do yoga, it's $122. My guess is that it's not that popular because it's going to be at Hollywood Studios, from my understanding. And again, if I was going to do it, I'd probably want to do it in front of the castle. So we're scrolling back down. We're going to go to runner information. On the top, it says right underneath runner information, and at top bar it says official digital expo and event guide, and that's in big black letters. Now the next sentence, or the next little paragraph, says the official digital expo and event guide. And if you notice, it's in blue. So we can click on this and watch what happens. We're going to get to this. It's going to say you're about to dash away from runDisney.com. So it's got its own little, and we're going to press continue. So it's got its event hub. So this is the event hub for digital for the digital expo guide for the springtime surprise. So we'll read this part right here. Welcome to the 2025 Run Disney Springtime Surprise Weekend. This race series invites you to become the hero of your own story, just like our Disney heroes. With each race and special event this weekend, you can prepare for the journey with yoga, demonstrate your heroic skills,
and celebrate with a splash at the after hours party, which is no longer happening. So that's gone. So on behalf of our cast members, our celebrated charity, which is Make-A-Wish Central and Northern Florida, and the Run Disney team, thank you for being part of the Run Disney Springtime Surprise Weekend. See you on the course, Adam Ball. He's the Vice President of ESPN Sports, Run Disney, and Disney Water Park. I actually saw him last time. I didn't get to talk to him. Every time when I was trying to get to him, he disappeared. Important person, probably has a lot to do, but one of these days I really do want to have a sit-down conversation with him. It'd be very interesting. But anyways, so here we're going to click on weekend events. So right here, I'm just going to read the top one. It says, Run Disney Springtime Surprise Weekend promises to be an epic experience. It's funny that they're using the word epic when their competitor is a little over 2 months away from opening up a big theme park called Epic. So come lace up and become the hero of your own story as you conquer magical miles throughout Walt Disney World Resort April 3rd through the 6th. Now, I'm not going to go through it, but I do the last sentence in the next paragraph. I'm just going to read the last one. It says, family friends with a ticket to the Run Disney Springtime Surprise Splash at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon and Water Park, which is no longer happening. So now as we scroll up, we're going to see the featured booths. Each one of these is clickable, and each one of these can have sub things to look at. So we're going to start off on the top left hand, which I'm facing top left hand corner, important information. So we're going to go over this. Now there's stuff that is going to be repetitive. We're not going to repeat it. There's stuff that it's going to be pretty much self-explanatory, and I'm just going to urge you to look at it yourself if you want to go. If not, I'm going to be here for hours. So event safety. I'm just reading the very top sentence. Event safety. As always, safety is our top priority. Please check out these important reminders before your magical race weekend begins. And please do this. And any questions that you have before you ask on social media, come here and look at it. This is why social media, including me, are not official. This is official. So if they tell you here, this is what's going to happen, it's probably going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, you got a viable argument. But if you actually listen to the people on social media when they say, oh, don't worry about it, they say they're going to do that, but they're not, and then it happens, then that's on you and whoever you listen to. Again, they do not work. I do not work for Run Disney. So I urge you to look at this, and I urge you that if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, but look at this first, okay? And make sure that you get the answer from Run Disney. All right, so now we're going to go one by one. It's going to say park rules. So there's a blue Walt Disney World Resort Park rules. Make sure that you click on that. Now, most of the Run Disney community, from what I've seen, my experiences, are very good. They understand not only the park rules, but the Run Disney rules. And so the majority is really, really good. If you have any questions, any specific questions, look up on there and make sure that before you go out there, get your answer, okay? All right, costume guidelines. There's going to be another tab that's going to talk about that. There's a video that's going to basically go over that. I'm not the expert in costumes because obviously I never wear them. But I can tell you this. It can't be offensive. It can't stick out. Very, very common sense to me. If you have something that's sticking out and you turn and you hit somebody, you can hurt them. So just be very careful. Again, use your common sense. Read. Watch the video, whatever it is, to make sure. If you have any, and I'll get to it in a little bit, but if you have any questions, take it to Run Disney, take it to the expo, let them see it, and if they say okay, get the name of the person who said it. But besides that, I wouldn't. Again, I wouldn't. Don't take the advice of anybody who is on social media. All right, so weather warning system. This is going to be key because you can't get hot. Lately, it's been cool in the evenings, warm during the day. So as long as the sun isn't up, which we might be get some good coverage, we're going to be okay. The only thing is the humidity. So I'm not sure what the humidity is. But take a look at these. I would start looking at these at least about a week before. Start looking at the weather. And the most important ones are going to be the night before and the morning of, because the weather can change. I have run Disney runs where it says it's not going to rain and it rains. There's going to be other times when it says it's going to pour and this and that, and then we get there and it's not pouring. So just be prepared for anything. So, all right. This, I think, is a really good one. So the Springtime Surprise start group timelines, okay? So we do know that there's going to be just, on your bib, it's going to be A through F. So A, B, C, D, E, and F. The 5K projected start time, the 10K projected start time, and the 10 miler projected start time. They all start at 5. Now, the last ones to start, now if you look at them, the 5K is 5:56, the 10K is 6:04, and the 10 miler is 6:11. To me, that means a couple of things. It means that they are probably going to have some more groups, and it looks like, from what I can tell, is for the 10K and the 10 miler, they're going to have more groups in C and E. It looks like that. So there's a possibility, and it looks like even for the 10 miler at F. So these are proximate. So just remember that sometimes they start earlier, or they can push us out earlier if the weather looks like, it's going to get too hot, too warm too quickly, or they can actually start a little bit later if there's a storm or something like that. So just remember that. And the last line that says there, I urge you to read this. If you arrive after your start group has closed, you will be asked to join the next available start group. So if your start group is A and they're gone, they've already closed the corral and stuff, and B has already closed because they're moving up, and let's say C is closed also, the next one is going to be D. So you're going to get in there, and again, you don't have an argument. Hey, sorry, the Uber driver. Sorry, I overslept. Sorry, whatever it is. But that's why it's important to make sure that you understand and you get there on time if you want to get to an earlier corral. All right, event waivers. This one's going to have an important date, so please be careful. Please be listening to this one. If not, make sure that you come back to look at it. So as far as signing your waiver, you guys who have been watching for a while know my take on it. The new people, it's not the most important thing in the world if you cannot get this done. It's great if you get it done, but it's not the most important thing, because you can get it done at the expo. If you watch any of my expo videos, you can actually see where to go and do that. It's very simple. So it's on your way to get it. You have to pass by there anyway, so you can actually sign it off, and then you can show it to them, and you're taken care of. So if you want to complete your waiver today, you want to complete your waiver today. So it's going to tell you how it is. So this is the other rules that are going to be here. Anybody who is 18 or older, you need to sign your own waiver, and you need to pick up your own bib with a valid ID. If you're a parent or guardian and 17 or younger, then you can pick it up for them. But 18 or older, you have to pick up your own bib. You cannot pick up for anybody else. If that was the case, we're going to have a lot of issues. It's going to lead to a lot of issues. So to sign your digital, and I'm just going to go over it kind of quickly. You're going to sign into your RunDisney account. Select View Sign Documents. It's important. You're going to go to. It's going to be real simple. Once you read this, you're going to go on, and then you're going to look at it and go, oh, it's simple and stuff. All right. View your registration, and then select your documents. If you do not see it, follow there. Once you have read, and this is really important, you have to scroll all the way up before you sign. If you do not scroll up, it's not going to let you sign. So once you sign, you're going to have to use the name that you registered with. So if you used a middle initial when you're signing up, you have to use it when you're signing up. If you didn't use the middle initial and then you try to sign it with it, it's not going to let you. So if your name is Joe Smith and you signed up with Joe Smith, you cannot sign Joe B. Smith or Joe A. Smith or whatever. So you have to do that. Joe Smith Jr., you can't do that. It just has to be Joe Smith. Okay. So once you sign your waiver, you will have an option to download or email your copy. So once you do that, again, it's going to be real easy. The next part is Expo Check-in Pass. Now, halfway down that paragraph, it says Monday, March 31st. That's when it's going to be available. So remember, if we read a little bit more, it's going to be on that day. So let me just finish that. So you're going to either print it out, or what I do is I just take a digital copy. I snap it. And so it's going to have your bib number, not your corral. So it's a thing that it does not have your corral. It's your bib number. You can speculate what corral you're going to be in. It doesn't matter until you pick up your bib and you see your corral number. And then again, you're going to have a valid ID. So it can't be a secondhand ID. It's got to be like a driver's license, passport, something official. So if you have any questions, reach out to RunDisney. Again, social media, maybe somebody will say they've taken this before, but they might not anymore. So I would get the official answer from RunDisney if you can. So real quick, I'm going to go back to the runner information. I'm going to go to, okay, so up here, it doesn't matter from here. Help and support. You're going to come up here and you're going to have manage account, the very bottom. this is the site where you're going to be able to log into using your login information, and this is where you're going to be able to sign your waiver, okay? And this is where you're also going to be able to see your digital event guide come Monday the 31st, all right? All right, so let's continue going. Costume guidelines. Like I said, I'm not a pro at this one. So Run Disney reserves the right to deny admission to, remove, or any persons wearing attire that Run Disney considers inappropriate or could detract, so forth and so on. So what can you use? And so I'm just going to go over these pretty quickly because, again, I've never had to use them. Costumes must be family friendly. Participants 14 or older may not wear costume mask of any kind. 13 or younger can, but it can't cover the whole face. If you dress like characters, you can't pose for pictures, signed autographs. Costumes may not drag on the ground. They may not have sharp objects, pointed objects, or materials that accidentally strike another participant. Any metal or anything like that is not going to be accepted. Costumes may not contain any weapons or resemble any weapons. If you have a water gun or something like that, again, if you have any questions, take it to the expo and ask them, because if not, they're going to pull it from you, and it could be something that takes away from your run. So layer costumes such as ball gowns, hoop skirts that have infrastructure and metal components or hard edges that do not follow the natural contour of the human body are not permitted. Okay, layer clothing including tutus, running shorts, cold weather gear, and stuff are permitted. So as long as they do not drag. Costumes or large props including, without limitation, items that present a safety hazard, that is like a Triton, it says here, a cardboard box, which I've seen actually, that kind of stuff are not permitted either. Again, if you have any questions, contact Run Disney. Take it to the expo. Small inflatable or soft body, hard body props are permitted. Handheld. Soft body handheld props, so nothing hard, tutu, transparent wigs, heads, whatever. They can't cover your face. Capes may be worn if the lens doesn't go below the waist. Themed t-shirts, hats are acceptable. Nothing inappropriate, nothing with cuss words or anything. If you do not adhere to the rules, the first thing they're going to ask you is not to use it. Secondly, if you continue using it, they're going to pull you off the course, and so that's it. Please avoid bringing any unnecessary items with you the day of the Run Disney event. You bring the bag. If it fits in the bag, then you can put it in there. But just remember, anything that you think that can hurt somebody, you can't use, and that just makes sense. All right. So that's it with costumes. Race etiquette. Whew, I have videos on this, and I'm gonna make another one. I like that. I like making these long videos. I have it fun. Peg Leg Pete needs to be, and I know that somebody started the chant, justice for Peg Leg Pete, but you know what? We've had enough of what he does, and we don't want that on the course, and so that's it. But anyways, when it comes to race etiquette, these are very, very basic, and so pay attention to the race instructions. Yes, both digital and verbal. Put your race bib in front, and that to me is more important when you want to take pictures, because I have seen people where it covers it, or I have seen people where they do this, and so their bib is facing this way, they're taking the picture over here, and then they wonder why it didn't come out. Well, that's there. Please enter your correct start group. That to me, again, you're going to think about it this way. If you think because it's your right to jump into another corral, or you get into another corral, then others are going to start doing it, and then next thing we know is we got chaos, and you ruin it for everybody. The one thing I always tell people is train as if you're starting in the last corral. I'm going to start that. Train as if you're starting in the last corral, so that way you're ready for anything. All right. Run or walk more than 2 abreast. This one, again, to me, can have its gray areas, because I have seen people with disabilities and stuff, and sometimes they need a little bit more, a little bit more, pep. They're trying to encourage more, and so that's it. So I understand that, but as much as you can help it, try to. I go back to the dopey runners, which I have not seen in years. It was before the pandemic, but there was, I believe, 7 of them, and they ran in single file, and one would drop back to the end, and then they would just continue going, but they never broke that formation, or at least whenever I saw them. I thought that was amazing. I thought that was cool. I actually thought they were role models for what race etiquette or run etiquette was. If you want to run with a friend or a different group, you can go to the slower one. So if you're faster, you can go to the back one. If you're in A and they're in C, you can go to C. They cannot come up with you, okay? If you are stopping with a water station, grab and then move away from it. So that way other people can have a chance to do it. Move to the side if someone says, excuse me, or coming through. And on the most part, people are good about that. Sometimes not, but excuse me, on the most part, they're good. Feel free to shout out words of encouragement and other athletes. In other words, don't cuss. So let's try to keep it G-rated, especially the 5K and the 10K when there's more children running. And so just don't cuss. That's easy. So when you're approaching the finish line, you may see loved ones. They cannot join you, okay? So just remember that. Enjoy the post-race refreshments, celebrate, and have a great race. Create a great race. Snacks, box, nutrition, lunch. I'm not going to go over this big time, but I think this is so cool. And I've said this before, that they actually tell you exactly know what more to expect. So on the course, you expect Dasani water. For the 5K, one location. For the 10K, you got 3. And for the 10 miler, 6 combined Dasani and Powerade stations. And there's one stop for sports beans. And then they got the nutritional information. So that way you can see it. And then if you click on the snack, let's click on the snack box just to see if they did. Okay, so this is a possibility of stuff that you're gonna get. And if you're allergic to anything, I have friends of mine who sit there and say, gluten-free, whatever it is. Now you got information here so you can look at them. So I'm not gonna go over it, but you can go over it yourself. I'm gonna click off of there. But this is actually a pretty cool edition. I like this edition. Post-race information. Alrighty. The race results. Okay, so the race results will be coming up. So there is usually going to be a link to Track Shack, and Track Shack will give you the results. You can get that. That becomes live about a week before, roughly, maybe even a few days before. So just keep looking at that. There's going to be some blue clickable thing, and you're just going to be able to claim it. If you would like to be removed from the unofficial, then you could do that. And so, alrighty, coast to coast. So this is an important one if you're getting your coast to coast. If you ran Disneyland and you haven't ran at Disney World yet, or at least one of the distances, the only one that will comply with the rules is a 10 miler. So complete any 10-mile race or more, and you're going to get it. So what ends up happening is at the very end, you will finish and you're going to get an extra medal. So there will be a section because you're going to get your challenge medal, and in that same section you're going to get your coast to coast. I've already gotten mine. It's a great medal. So if you haven't gotten it, be expecting a really, really cool medal. So that's there. But that's it for that one. Advent Health, they do a really good job. These are the people that have the medical teams out there. I think they do a very good job, especially, I've seen it when they're really needed. And I do like what they do. Like it says here, they can be found riding on the course on bikes. So you will hear bikes on your left, and you need to move out. And a lot of times they're just actually patrolling, but sometimes they're trying to get, because they get radio that somebody is in an emergency up in front of you, so they take off to go and do them to take care of. So that's another reason why running with music, if you're completely not listening at all, that could be something that you can hinder. So just remember that when you run, but they do a really good job. Here goes the one that I think last time I just kind of mentioned it'll come later, and when it came, it was not the same. So how to link your race photos. So again, now it seems now we're just following what they just did, or they've just been doing, is that when you get your check-in pass, they do have a photo link which is exclusive for you. Now here goes the difference. It's because it used to be that you could link up to 5 people per run. Now it's 5 people per weekend, it seems like. So it's going to be real easy. It's just like linking any other photo pass. It's 16 digits. You're going to have your own personal one. So it doesn't go into details, but it does. If you go to the expo, it does have there where you can purchase it, and I believe it was $75 per one race, or $210 for the weekend for Princess. So I'm assuming it's going to be something similar to that. So just expect that this is going to happen. So for those of you who do, they're raising money for charities, and then you're now going to be limited to what you got. So just remember this. I feel for you guys, but Disney does what they want to. Now, they never had rules saying you cannot link, people, but it was up to 5. And so the minivan and connected lift, we're going to see this throughout. It's going to be real easy. It is connected by lift. So if you want to take the minivan, that's all you need to do. So we're going to go back to weekend event. And now we're going to the Health and Fitness Expo. 22 minutes in. Virtual queue information. So this is important if you want merchandise, you want to purchase it. This does not include the shirts that you get when you signed up. That's going to be a different place where you're going to locate. You're going to go and get them. But this is for the first day. So on April 3rd, 2025, a virtual queue will open for the official Run Disney merchandise shop at ESPN Wild World of Sports. And it's only usually for that day. So how to join it? Gives you all the information here. The important thing is it's going to be on My Disney Experience if you have not done this before. If you've joined any virtual queue, and there's no longer anything, I don't believe, at Disney World. But if you have done in the past, virtual queue for Rise of the Resistance, for Cosmic Rewind, for Tron, so for Tiana's Splash, that was another one. So it's the same thing. So it's going to be an ESPN Wild World of Sports tab. 8:30 a.m. Eastern, so that's when you can start registering. Select the number of guests, up to 6. So, and I believe your family has to be linked. So if your shopping party must be added to your and it's right here. The shopping party must be added to your My Disney Experience friends and family first, or list prior to joining. So you cannot just pick random people. Make sure that they're attached. If you have a friend of yours who you're going to be going with, of course you can get them on there, but they have to be linked. It's pretty easy. Just go to any, I could do it for you if I saw you. It's just a lot easier than explaining it, but you can go to the front desk and they can take care of that too. Anywhere on property, we get any guest services, we'll be able to do that. There's open slots, you're going to see it, and the opening is at 10 a.m. so that's when they start off. You'll receive a push notification. And guess what? You're going to be, it depends on what it is and what's going on, but there's a chance you're going to be going in there and you're going to be waiting in line again. So you're going to have a QR code. Everybody who is going in will have a QR code. So if you have 5 people going in, you have 5 QR codes. If you go in there with 1 and expect everybody to go in, they're going to deny the other 4. So if you have 5 people, all 5 have to have a QR code. If not all 5 have one, the only people that go in is the people that have the QR code. Okay. Virtual, okay, event waivers, we've already gone over that, so I am not going to go over that again. Race bibs and shirt pickup. Okay, and we're going to see maps to this in a little bit. Participants must attend. You have to go. You have to go. There's only a couple of reasons why you can't, and we'll go over that in a little bit. That emergency pickup is what it's called. So the 5K in the challenge you need to pick up by Thursday, 10K by Friday, and the 10 miler by Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. You can pick them up, okay? And athletes must visit the State Farm Field House and have the valid photo ID and a digitally signed waiver and their check-in pass. So you have to have everything, okay? Guests can't pick up race bibs for another runner unless they're a minor. So just remember, athletes will pick up their race bib, shirts, and gear bag. The gear bag is really important. I'll say that in a little bit why. So in the athletic center, participant shirts may be exchanged for other sizes at the expo if desired size is available. So there is a place that you can change your shirts. If there's damage to it, you see that. Or if you ask for a large and they give you an extra large, you can just go and you can switch out and get another one. All right, the gear bag. So for the gear bag check-in, the race days, so let's say you take a change of clothes and you put that in the gear bag, or you put that in a bag, you're going to have to put it all in the gear bag. You cannot take your own bag and check in anything. They will not allow it. So you're either going to have to go back to your hotel and put it back. Maybe they have extra gear bags and so they can use one there. But just make sure that you take it just in case. So if you're going to check in anything, any gear check-in, you're going to use that. It's a good thing to use. They're pretty good at it. But just make sure that you use the gear bag that they put their shirts in. Alrighty. Expo transportation. We're getting to nitty-gritties now. All right. So the people that sit there going like, oh, there's no such thing. I got to my hotel and and they said that they're not using it right here. Transportation runs 30 minutes before from Walt Disney World Resorts, Shades of Green, and Swan and the Dolphin Resorts to the expo, and 30 minutes after the expo to host the resort hotels. So any Walt Disney World resort that's on property, does not include the Disney Springs area ones or the ones that are off property. So this they do have transportation, and again, 30 minutes before to 30 minutes afterward. If you're staying off property, you can call and ask. Most of them are not going to have it. Once in a while, I have heard of them having something. I just don't think they're going to, because when you look at where they park, it's going to be hard to park. So, but you got the hours of when they're running Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday is from 9:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., which means the expo is from 10 to 7. Friday is from 11:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., so it's from 12 to 7. And Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., which means it's 10 to 3. All right. Minivan, I'm not going to go over because I've already gone over that. So here is Wild World of Sports. So Wow World of Sports. It's a great complex. I actually remember when they used to have the punt, pass, and kick in the back. And I was a lot younger, and so I used to go back and do that. So, all right. So we're not going to go in the correct order, because as we walk up, and A is going to be on the right-hand side. C is usually the next one that we go to, and B, and they're just, I think, going in the order. So A is going to be the Advent Health Arena. That's where the official Run Disney merchandise, pre-purchased commemorative items, so if you pre-purchased anything, there. Club Run Disney Platinum headquarters on the second level. I'm just gold, so I'm back to being a mere mortal when it comes to that. So it's a cool little perk to have. Very expensive, but it's a cool little perk to have. So you can pick up your bibs there, from my understanding, and so instead of having to go all the way to C. So I'm going to go to B and then C, but again, you're probably going to want to go to A, C, and B. So B is the athletic center. That's where you pick up your race shirts. You know what? I'm going to start up with C. So you're going to go to C because you're going to pick up your bibs. You have to pick up your bibs. So C is the Farm Field House, the main floor, the race bib pickup. They got Run Disney account services, runner relations. So in case you need to change you feel like, they put you in the wrong corral, you got to go talk to them. That's where you do it. Athletes with disabilities booths, character greetings, and Disney photo pass. They do sometimes have some really cool, they usually 1, 2, sometimes even 3 characters, and then they have 1 or 2 with magic shots. So you take a picture and they add something to it, and so later on, that one takes a while to come out, but you might be like running and then all of a sudden Mickey appears with you and they're running and stuff. But it usually it goes with the theming of the run, so there's a good chance you're going to see Hercules, Baymax, a Groot, that kind of stuff, all right? And the waiver signing. And again, like I told you, you can sign your waiver there. So once you pick up your race bib, that's when you go pick up your shirt. So that's B. So that's the athletic center. So the race bib pickup, and it's on the second floor, so you're going to have to go downstairs. So, and it's way in the back. They do this on purpose, so you're going to pass by all the vendors, right? So event information and transportation. So you have any questions about that? Run Disney Showcase, sponsored and exhibitor booths. So those are the vendors. So there's some cool stuff. We're going to go over that in a little bit. And they do have food and beverage. And actually they have a restaurant there, which I don't believe is open on the weekends. It used to be, but not anymore. But they actually had some pretty good food. I like to go and eat there, so I might go eat there again. So, all right. So now we're going to go one by one. The Advent Health. So this is the merchandise. So entrance from the complex is going to be on the bottom left-hand side, and that's where you're going to go up if you're a Club Run Disney Platinum. We actually walk around and we go in to the backside, and then there's a checkout. There's actually some picture ops there too. There's some places that once you enter to the right-hand side, there's some picture situations there. So, and they're usually not going to be character pictures or anything like that, but they're theme pictures. So, like for the Princess Weekend, it was the wishing well for where Snow White was, and so that was pretty cool. So my guess, I don't know, they're going to do something Guardians or Baymax, something to that effect. And so, all right, so the next one is the Athletic Center. So it's the B. This one is going to be the B. So we're in the lower level. So you see on the left-hand side, those yellow-looking things are stairs. So we're going to go in there, and there's a place to take a picture there as you enter before you go down the stairs. Then you got all the exhibitors. In the back is where you pick up your shirts, and then way in the back is where you can exchange the shirts, and you're going to see a lot of vendors. We're going to go over those in a little bit, and you can start seeing info and transportation towards the front. Then you're going to go out, and that's where the restaurant is, and then a place to buy some alcohol and stuff like that. And there's also some vendors, some place to get food on the way in and out. So from the Advent Health Arena up to the Athletic Center, you're going to see some of those. All right, so this is C, but this is the one you're going to go to second. Mainly is you're going to have the main entrance and the main exit, but you are going to go around, go down some stairs, and then you're going to go and you're going to look at. So you're going to be able to pick up your bib. So if you're coming in, so I'm picturing coming in, character greeting is going to be right there on the right hand side. All against the wall is going to be challenge. In the middle is going to be the 10K. Then against the wall, the furthest away from me is a 10 miler and the 10K. So you noticed a couple of things. Challenge has a lot. So in other words, the challenge is going to have the biggest number of people there, it looks like, because of the situation. 10K is probably going to have the second biggest, and the 5K, and this is because it's a combo race, because usually 5K has a lot more, but because it's included in the challenge, that's why it's probably there. And so again, on the wall closest to us as we come in towards the left is runner relations, athletes with disabilities, and whatever, it's kind of small right here. So anyways, all right, so now let's go back to weekend events. Now we're going to go through the runs, and man, the 5K. All right, so start group times, we've already gone over this. Now the only thing that is added here is on the left hand side is the 5K start group close. So by 4:45, if you're not there, corral A closes. By 4:50, corral B closes. By 5 o'clock, corral C closes. On the left to that is when the start groups open. So 3:45 is the earliest you can go into your corral. So if you want to get a good place in your corral, get there before 3:45 so you can get up there. But make sure, if you want to start in your corral, you want to start in at C, get there by 5. If you do not get there by 5, you are not going to start on time. So, and these are the same for all of them. So spectator viewpoints. This one I haven't done. I've done a little bit of spectating, and it's mainly going to be the 5. Well, it's going to be the 5K that I've done. So this is going to be easy. You're just there at the parking lot. So if you have family or friends who are going to be looking at it, yes, they have to get there early, accessible from 4:30 to 6. Just remember that. So so you can see the start at 4:30 to 6, and then the finish at 5:15 to 7:30. All right, but you know where to go. So it's the times and the details. So where are they? So that way, and we'll see some that are different a little bit, and it'll give you the details on where to go once we get to like the 10K and so. Resort transportation. This is, again, people will message me going like, but they said they're not picking up. Okay, that's not true. So you got to look at this. So so each one of them is going to be, so like a 5K April 4th. The resort start times is at 3 to 5, and they will be there on your resorts. I put it on the Run in Years page and stuff. And the finish line, they start at 6:30. Just remember this: start at 6:30. The 5K goes all the way to 8:30 because it's not timed. It takes a while. The 10K is all the way to 9, and the 10 milers all the way to 10. So just remember that. So guest transportation to and from all Walt Disney World resorts, Shades of Green, and the Swan and Dolphin. So what they do is they number them. So I know the All-Stars are all number 1. So it goes so forth and so on, and I believe there's 10 of them. So you might be grouped, and so you might have a couple of drop-offs, okay? Race etiquette, and we've already gone over this. Event reminders. Okay, this one we haven't gone over, so let's go over this. All participants must pick up their race bib, and we know that. That part we have gone over. For drivers, all athletes and spectators must park at Epcot. If you are driving, make sure that you park at Epcot. For resort guests, you can use the transportation, or you can drive, but just make sure that you're prepared for that. So, participants and spectators are strongly encouraged to arrive at Epcot parking lot by no later than 4 a.m. Okay, and you are going to have to go through security. Okay, so we go through a staging area, then we're going to go through the runner area, which the spectators cannot go to. They have a special area. They turn to the right where they can go and they can see people come off, or they can sit around where the finish line is if that's what they want to do. So race bib and start group assignment. So you want to make sure that everything is clear and visible. So if it's restricted, again, you're causing them more problems. What I look at it this way: no matter what your stance is or whatever stuff, you're holding up the line. So make sure that you show that. And again, if your bib says D and you're trying to get into B, they're not going to let you. And it doesn't matter how many relatives you have over there. You try to jump, they catch you, they can ban you. So you're breaking the rules. So I would suggest, again, play by the rules. You know, we're going over everything, so make sure, so that way everybody has a good run. Alrighty. No covered. Just trying to see everything that's specific because I'm kind of going over it pretty quickly. So yeah, if you cover it, make sure that you lift it. And again, if you're going to be taking pictures and it's covered all the time, you can get pulled over. You just have to show them your bib, and that's fine. But again, you're not going to get any pictures. So that's it's up to you. If you're seen without your bib number while running on the course, they will be removed on the course for security and safety reasons. That is true because I've actually seen people who have posted that they come in at a certain time. They know when to come in and they can run the run. No, you can't. You're going to have a bib and stuff. You could probably, I can see it where people can get away with it. But again, you get caught, you're going to be banned for life. So, letter on your bib is your assigned start group. So just make sure that you're there. Their anticipated base time. And I believe you get one bib if you're doing the challenge. You might get two. No start group changes may be made. Emergency medical information may be filled out. And so, all right, let's go. And the last thing is going to be your start group designation is going to be in a capital letter such as A, B, C, whatever, and is located in the upper corner of your bib. And if you ever see A, B, and you're doing the 10K and the 10 miler, it's going to be A for the first one, B for the second one. That does happen. Snack, box, nutrition. We are not going to go over that because we've already gone over that. The 5K course. This one I like to, I like doing this. Okay, so we're going to start off in the parking lot. The first mile is outside. We're going to run in through Epcot. We go through World Showcase. I love World Showcase. I miss it whenever we don't run there. To me is a great thing, especially like when you have the marathon. That's it. So the blue is going to be a water stop, so it's by the American Pavilion. You see in green the mile markers. So 2 and then 3 towards the front. We run through Spaceship Earth, and that's it. It's pretty simple. Okay, so this ones are going to be repetitive, so we're just going to go over one time. So we enter close where the blue area is. This is where we enter, where we walk into. So on the bottom, okay. So the spectator viewing where it says point, event, exit. Okay, so that's also the entrance when we walk in the morning. So we go over there. You're going to see the finish line. I like to go and take pictures with the finish line because there's nobody there in the morning. I usually use these secrets, and then after a while, everybody's there, so it becomes situations where you go like, okay. But you see the yellow line where it says runners only. That's where we're going to finish. All right. As we walk up, we are going to go into it says reunion area, but it's just basically the staging area. The red on the side is post-event bus transportation. You'll see them lined up, and they're going to have numbers. So, and there's usually like a wall that says 1 is for all All-Stars, 2 is for whatever. I'm not sure. Port Orleans, just going to use that as an example. Both Riverside and whatever it is, and they'll all take you there and stuff. But you have a lot of stuff there. The information tent, that's where emergency pickup is usually there, if there is emergency pickup. Baby care, in case you need that. Self-treat, gear bag, check, okay. Then you got to check the gear bag. Athletes with disabilities, finish. I've actually passed by there. Game day photos, food and beverages, entertainment. So you can take pictures there. There's usually 4 characters, and they're usually going to go with the theming of the weekend and of the race. So the first day, for example, can be Guardians base, and Baymax can be there because he's all weekend. So that's usually what they do. But again, since it's hero, they're usually going to have some kind of hero. Marvel, again, you can use Guardians, but you can't use Captain America. You can't use, not on the East Coast, you can't use Iron Man, Spider-Man, that kind of stuff. So that's what I would expect. Then you're going to cross over the bib check. It's going to be the middle, so you're going to go into your start groups. It's the same thing for every one of them. And like I said, there's a place where if you go through bib check, I'm going through bib check, turn to the right, go all the way to the spectator viewing so you can see the start. And so that's over there in blue on the top. And that's where we start. And then, of course, all the corrals are in there. They got a lot of porta potties. I think that's that's set at the bottom. So they got a lot of porta potties. So they got porta potties all over the place. So in case you see one at the beginning and it's packed, instead of waiting in line, you can keep going. You're gonna have that. And where the start groups are, they usually have water. So you can purchase the water, before you get in there, and that's usually expensive. Or you can wait till you get all the way over there, and they usually have some free water. Alrighty. The Epcot lots. All right, so this was going to be very simple. Go over this real quickly. So this is just an expanded version of what we just saw. So event parking, the drop off on the box of the buses. So as you see, I was right where we walk on the bottom where it says event entrance. So you look at that. That's in front of Epcot. We go in through there. There's going to be security. Everybody has to go through security. You cannot not go through it. So just remember that if you're going to go through security no matter what. So that is there, and then you got the parking lot. So you Crush, Dory, Hey, Moana, and the Wally. Usually we're in the Wally section, so I know that. Alrighty. Photos are going to be the same. Nothing different. And the minivan is going to be the same. So now we've gone over the 5K. It should go a little bit faster now. Hercules, I'm looking forward to this one and stuff. So now we're going to do it's the same principle here. The start where the start time and the group close. So you're going to see that. But if you notice, Group C is now 4:55 for the 10K. Just remember that again when you get there. If you get there after 4:55, you're going to have to go into D. That's going to be the rule. And it's here, so you cannot sit there and say, but no, it is that. So the viewpoints are going to be actually this is going to be the same. So it's going to be the same as the 5K. It's just the difference is going to be how long they're going to be open. Okay. The resort transportation is, we already went over that. So 6:30 to 9 a.m. Race etiquette, we've gone over. Event reminders, let's make sure. Yes, this is the same. All right, unofficial results. Here they are. So on the top it says, and remember the 5K is not timed, so you can take your time. So there's not anything. You're not going to get any results. Family and friends will be able to follow you on your favorite runners' split and finish times for the RunDisney Springtime Surprise 10K and the 10 miler. So if you click on this, let's go ahead and click on this. It takes me to another page, which I talked about it before. Track Shack. Tracking for the Disney Springtime Surprise weekend is not available. But as long as you register, you're going to be able to see that, okay? You're going to be able to see that. Snack box information. So we're going to go over the stuff that we haven't gone over. So the 10K is going to be a little bit different course. So the 10K we start, but instead of going to the right, going off to the right, we're going straight to the left. Mile marker 1, 2. Then we're going to run into Epcot. A little bit of World Showcase, and we're going to exit, go into the boardwalk, come around the boardwalk. That's more. We just did this. It's very similar to the 10K that we just ran. Run back into the around the boardwalk, around into World Showcase. You see the water stations. There's one exiting Epcot. There's one at World Showcase again. I'm sorry, at American Pavilion again. And you see where the medical tent is. Those are the red ones and stuff. So you see a water station at a mile 1.5. You see another medical tent a little after mile 1. There's going to be characters throughout. And then you finish in front of, you go in front of the Spaceship Earth. I want to say the giant golf ball. And then 6, and then you finish up there. So that's the difference. And if you want to watch the video for the 10K for Princess, it's basically the same. Road closures, I'm not going to go over them, but I'm going to go over this. So if it's red, those roads are completely closed. If they're blue, they're modified. So if you are running the 5K and the next day you're leaving early, this is going to give you an estimated time of where the road closures are going to be. If you're not around the Epcot area, you're fine. I actually saw somebody say, well, I'm staying at Pop Century, and I said, you're fine. So remember that. That's too far away, so that's it. So the Epcot start and staging and the Epcot lots, the photo pass and the lift is the same. So now we're going to go back and hey, Hercules, we're going to go to the Incredibles of 10 milers. So we're going to look at the start times. Again, it's going to be very similar to the 10K. So when we look at this, again, 4:45, if you're in Group A, if you're there at 4:50, you're going to have to get into Group B. Once it closes at 4:50, then maybe even C. So just remember to get there on time. 10 miler spectating views, it's going to be the same. I mean, the only thing is, and you saw that if you're, and we're going to see that in the map too, for the 10K. If you're for the 10K, if you're in the boardwalk area, or you can get to the boardwalk area, you can go and cheer. Just be careful trying to get there because a lot of them will not let you in. And if you take a lift, I would ask them just to make sure. And again, the resort transportation is the same as always, 6:30 to 10 a.m. Race etiquette, event reminders, unofficial results, all that is the same. Now let's go over the course. So the start is going to be very similar to the 5K. We're going to run into World Showcase. So the first mile, then we're going to exit. And we exit around, what is that? I know we're heading towards, we head towards, so it's the boardwalk area should be, we're going to run through Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios should be closed, but it depends on what time people might be able to take the buses and cheer us there outside. I've seen that happen before because that's my marker 3 and 4. Again, going back to cheering, if you're staying at the boardwalk area resorts, or you can get out there. That's another place to cheer. You cannot cheer on the streets, but again, you see the water stations. The red plus signs are going to be the medical areas. There is food. So one food at about almost at my marker 6. You see the hidden Mickey there. So we run along the streets, 7, 8, coming back. We go into Epcot kind of shortly, cut around, and then finish in front of Epcot. We exit Epcot and we run. So that answers another question. Can we stay there if we finish whatever fast? And no, you can't. You finish outside of Epcot. You need a ticket to go back in. Again, road closures you're going to see here. This is on Sunday. So if you need to go somewhere and you're around the Epcot Hollywood Studios area, then I would look at this. If you're staying in Animal Kingdom, if you're staying close to Magic Kingdom, if you're staying close to Disney Springs, you don't have to worry about any of these. But if you are, just look at these because the red marks or the red ones are going to be the ones where they're completely closed. The blue ones are the ones where it is modified. Okay, and everything else is going to be the same. So we're basically almost done. Yoga. Okay, so yoga, one that I usually don't do. Thursday morning, it is at it's April 3rd at 5 a.m. It's going to be at Hollywood Studios, just like I had said. So it's they're gonna yoga. So it's a 1-hour yoga. They're going to give you yoga mat with carrying strap will be provided. Bottled water, complimentary guest parking between 4 and 4:45. You have to bring your valid ID and your check-in pass. Remember to sign your digital waiver. Check-in begins at 4:15. Parking lot opens at 4. Security bag check will open at 4. Guests must arrive prior to 4:45 and check in. You will have to exit, so you cannot stay there. You need a valid theme park to re-enter. Must be 10 years old and older to participate. Children age under 14 must be accompanied by guests 14 or older. And location is they can't change. So the only thing is going to be transportation. Please check in closer to the event. Yoga transportation. Oof. That's the kind of stuff that makes me a little bit uneasy about doing these in the future. So, all right, make a wish. I'm not going to go over it. I just want to say that my experiences of being around and talking to them and stuff is great. Watch these videos. They're great. They're fantastic. Children donate. World Wish Month, a referral, visit our Wish blog, volunteer. That's not a bad idea there. And our Disney partnership. All right. That's the kind of stuff that I think is very, very much towards what you want to do. So that's it. Special event savings at Disney Springs. If you're going to eat at any of these places during that weekend, just make sure that you take your bib. Show your race bib or medal in any of these venues. So this is going to be the dining, this is going to be the shopping, and the experiences drawn to life. Okay, so this is going to be, and they have something at the expo there as you're leaving, as you can see. And the last thing is upcoming Disney races. So, and you got to see Jolly Jonathan there, and so our runs, and so that's it. When it says register now, that means they're open. When it says learn more, that means they're closed. So you can register for the virtual, and the registration for Walt Disney World Marathon just happened, or it actually going to happen, but it's going to be sold out pretty quickly. All right, so now we're going to go to the Digital Event Expo, all booths. So let's actually go. Let's go this way. Digital Expo. Event Hub. So, sorry, it's going to the wrong one. So it used to be more the booths. Okay, so right here you could win a Run Disney entries from Advent Health. So if you go there, you can enter. You're going to give your information. You are going to have to give them your information. Let's take a look at that one real quick, because you can go in there and you can win 2 entries to a Run Disney race as a contest and stuff. Let's see, that's in itself. So tell us about your running pal. Enter. You can do that there, but they usually give you this sticker sheet, which is really, really cool. It's really, really cool. It's free. Okay, so but Badako, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They give you that in that box. Also, they've been giving us in those boxes. So that's something that's there. What is it? Echelon Fitness, they're usually there. Enterprise, Fresh Point. These are all the sponsors, the vendors that are going to be there. Fresh Point, Honey Stinger, which they usually give us in the box too. And the Honey Stingers are actually pretty good. I like them. And sometimes they give you free samples. So if you pass by and they're giving you one, I don't know if you have to purchase them now, but if they're giving you one, please take one. Impossible Foods. Again, each one of these you can go in and check them out to see if they're going to be even doing more. So the mission, they give you open for details, 25% off, open for details. Just take a look if you're going to be getting anything. Sports Beans is going to be, in case you like those. I'm not a fan of those. Jeff Galloway, I always come and say hi to Jeff Galloway, always for good luck. So you have all the information that you get from Jeff. Go by and just say hi to him. So I always do. It's good luck for me. And Jeff is just, not only is he the official running coach for Run Disney, but he's also just a great person, just a great person just to talk to. So Fond Memories Graphics, this is where you can get, and I've done it in my videos, where you go there and you can see the way they put up your medals and stuff. And from my understanding is they've gotten it to the point where you don't have to give them your medal, so you're going to have duplicate medals. So that's a pretty cool thing there. So in case you're interested, go there and you can chit chat with them. And you can order them. They usually give you a discount when you order there at the expo. If you order later, then it could become a little bit more expensive. But they're pretty good. Fit to Run. In case you forget anything, they have everything. There's a couple of places that have like belts and stuff. So Scar and Company, safety pins. Okay. So these are little the companies that, and some of them are new or newer. Sparkle, I know, has been there for a while. They have accessories and stuff. Sparkly Soul headband. Okay, I've seen them and stuff, but it's mainly stuff that I probably wouldn't get. The sweaty bands. Also, I've seen them for a while there, and so that's it. But a lot of these vendors will have discounts at the expo, so that's something to look at. So the Digital Expo, I'm going to click on that again because usually it's supposed to give me this part down here, but I guess it went through that. But that's it. Do you guys have any question after that? I went almost an hour. But the whole goal is, so now if you have any questions, you can go straight to the event guide and you'll know where to find the answer. If you still have questions after that, the thing that I would do is ask Run Disney first. You can ask me. I'll try to help you out. If it's something that I do know, I'll let you know. If not, I have done it before where I contact Disney, Run Disney myself and ask the question. So with that said, any other questions? Thank you very much, and let's move on.
So wow, that was a long one. There was a lot of stuff to cover. I wanted to make sure that I got every major thing down. Of course, a lot of the basics, a lot of the fine print I haven't covered, so that's when your questions come into play. And please ask questions. But again, the most important one that I think is the changing of the photo pass system. I still see a lot of people trying to sell the 5 per race. From what I understand, it's only 5 per weekend. So if you're selling those, and I would be very wary, because especially if you're trying to buy them, you're going to buy them and then all of a sudden they're going to say, oh, we can't because, but again, reach out to me if you need some. I still have a few. I think I have 2 bib entries left. So, and it is for a charity. So what are your thoughts? Any questions that you have after seeing that? So guys, that was a very long video. So, and I said I was going to make an announcement. I am looking at, and I think I'm going to do it, at least right now I have plans on doing this, is going live, going on YouTube Live every Sunday, late afternoon, early evening. That way we can get all the coast, even our international people, if we can, to come in and ask questions and interact. I was looking at something like between 30 to 60 minutes, so that way we can interact. I love interacting with you guys, so that would be another tool that we would have. So just in case you have the questions, because a lot of times you guys ask questions and I won't see it for a day or so. And I just think this would be a good way that you guys can see the videos. You have your questions, write them down, and then we can interact, because there might be a follow-up question, and that's a great point right there. You guys have follow-up questions, I'll be able to answer them as quickly as I can. But that I'm looking at doing right after, maybe during Springtime Surprise, that going live on that Sunday, or maybe the weekend after. But I'm not sure. I'm just learning how to do that right now. So once I do, and I'll be able to do it once I get to that level, or once I get to that point, I should say. But I'm looking at going live every Sunday. The only exceptions are going to be if there's something major going on, like a run, and again, maybe even going live from the parks, showing medals, pictures of the medals, and so forth and so on. And without further ado, because it has been a long video, I'm just going to say thank you very much, guys, for watching. Guys, create a magical day, create a magical run, and see you sooner than later.